All right, all right. I think heaven is you. Y'all don't know who this is. Anybody know who's singing this? You know that? This before y'all time. Place where I can find happiness. A place close to your loveliness. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. So listen. So I haven't, somebody asked me, and I get this asked a lot, why am I still single? Am I dating anybody? And I get this even more so from my family members, especially my real religious family members. And that is because I wrote a book called Healing Rainbows. It's supporting the gay community. And I'm going through the Bible and exposing all the biblical myths used to attack the gay community. And so a lot of my family members think that I'm single because I finally came out the closet. But that's not the truth at all. It's really, I haven't been on a date. I haven't even gotten a new phone number since before the pandemic. Ohio Players, that's right, Kimberly, that's right, you know it. And I've seen them live a couple times, really good. But the reason that I haven't been on a date, or the reason that I haven't gotten any new phone number since before the pandemic, has been because I heard a quote. It said, if you chase butterflies, they'll fly away and they'll keep flying away. But if you build a garden, they'll come to you. And that really grabbed me. And I thought about that, and it made a lot of sense. And I want to add my own little twist to that. So because I've caught butterflies before. If you're skilled, if you're fast enough, you can catch a butterfly. But the problem is that you're liable to wound the butterfly. The butterfly is constantly going to be trying to escape you. So it doesn't matter even if you catch the butterfly. They're still trying to get away, and you might even wound them while you're going after them. But if you build a garden, they'll come to you. And the benefit of building a garden, now we're talking about relationships now. So it's like if you want to chase men, if you want to chase women, if you want to do that, what you're going to do is you're chasing like butterflies. These are things that are trying to escape you. But if you build your garden, if you build up your place where they want to come, they'll come to you. And the thing about it is that if you build your garden right, even if that butterfly dies, if that butterfly flies away and goes find somebody else's garden, it doesn't matter. Your garden is still populated every day with new butterflies, some more beautiful than the ones that left. And so if we could cultivate our gardens, fertilize our gardens, prune and treat our gardens, then we never have to worry about chasing butterflies. They'll come to us. And that goes for men or women. So let me say, so in my lifetime, I realized that I was catching a lot of flies instead of butterflies. Now, if you're catching flies, what are you putting down? What are they coming for? Flies are normally coming for shiitake mushrooms. Poop. You know, you can't cuss on, that's right, I see somebody said it. That's right. So flies are coming for that. And I was getting a lot of flies. And I realized that was my fault. Now, should we be mad at the flies? The flies are only doing what they're born, what they're created to do, what they're supposed to do. They go towards garbage and mess. So if we got a bunch of flies buzzing around us, we shouldn't get mad at the flies. They dirty dogs, they cheaters, they no good, they unfaithful, they disrespectful, they don't appreciate me. They flies, they do what they're supposed to do. But if we were to change what we're putting out, the scent that we're giving, the garden, the flowers that we're planting. So instead of in our garden, instead of it being flowers and roses and stuff like that, we have garbage, trash, waste. And so yeah, flies are coming. And we get mad at the flies like ain't no good men out here, ain't no good women out here. But no, the flies are coming because they're following the scent, what we're laying out. They're coming to us. Now, I have been lucky enough, I get some bees. And a lot of people like bees. And when I was younger, I used to like bees. Bees are beautiful too. They got different colors and they sound nice. Bees are nice. But the problem is that bees can sting you. If you grab them the wrong way, you rub them the wrong way, bees will sting you. But some people like that. The sting can't kill you. It'll just sting a little bit. And some people like that. I've learned that. So you don't want to knock bees because some people really got a taste for bees. And nothing wrong with that. And when I was younger, again, I like that little spice too. But now I kind of like butterflies. I want butterflies. And so I realized, oh, thank you. So I realized that I have to put down stuff that butterflies are attracted to. Now, again, I can't blame the bees for stinging. Bees are doing what they naturally do, what they're created to do. So if I want bees, then that's what I'm going to get. If I put out the stuff for flies, that's what I'm going to get, but it's not their fault. Okay, let me keep going. Let me see. I want to make sure I wrote it down because I want to make sure I get all my little different points. So I was planning to go dating this summer. My goal was this summer, hey, I'm finally going to go out and start dating. I'm going to start getting some phone numbers and go, doing some things and doing some stuff, exploring Chicago more and stuff like that. But I realized that what I would be doing I would have to go start chasing butterflies again because they were not coming to my garden. So I realized, obviously, I'm still putting out the wrong scent. I'm still getting flies and bees and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you something else that I looked over my life, and I realized that there have been times in my life that I did get butterflies. Notice, even if you don't have a garden in your backyard, you can just have grass, a couple of daisies, and some weeds. Every once in a while, a pretty butterfly will come down there and park in your backyard. And so I would get butterflies every once in a while. But the problem was me. So when I saw that beautiful butterfly in my raggedy backyard, it wasn't a garden, it wasn't cultivated, it wasn't right, I began to look at that butterfly like it was something wrong with that butterfly. Like the butterfly had a problem. The butterfly might be slow. Maybe the butterfly is handicapped or the butterfly is missing all his marbles or something, because why is the butterfly messing around in my yard? So I got this beautiful butterfly that's loving me, that's fluttering its wings around me, but because something is wrong with me, I'm looking at that butterfly like the butterfly is the problem. Same thing we do when we're looking at the flies like they're the problem, but really the flies are doing what they're supposed to. When we look at the bees when it stings us, the bees are doing what they're supposed to. And if a pretty butterfly comes down in my yard, in my garden, and I know my garden is garbage, now I look at the butterfly like the butterfly is the problem. Because most of the time I've gotten flies and I've gotten some bees, but every once in a while when I look back over my life, I've gotten a butterfly, and I bet you have too. You get a butterfly, but the problem with that butterfly is that if we're not fixed, if we're not together, we're going to chase that butterfly away. We're going to cheat on that butterfly. We're going to make up arguments to fight with that butterfly. We're going to automatically imagine the butterfly going to leave us because we don't deserve that butterfly. So we think they're going to treat us wrong or leave us or betray us. So we beat them to the punch and betray them. We chase the butterflies away. Something else I learned about myself that was kind of humbling. When I look back over my life, every relationship I have ever had, and you examine yourself and see if it's this way too. Every relationship I have ever had, that woman treated me the way I treated myself. Not just physically, outwardly, mainly how I treated myself inside. When I was young, I was super religious, thought I was going to be a pastor, a bishop, whatever, read my Bible every day, prayed and fasted all the time. But I was really into hellfire and brimstone, and so I always was on my case. I was saving myself for marriage. I wasn't having sex. I wasn't drinking, smoke, none of that stuff. And so I really was just all into God and trying to be holy and all that kind of stuff. And I beat myself up anytime I fell short. I was always dogging myself, putting myself down, belittling myself. In my head, I wouldn't say this stuff out loud, but in my mind, you no good, you unfaithful, God, how God gonna bless you, stuff like that. And I realized that every relationship I had back then, that person treated me that same way. Thank you for the roses, y'all. And Taria, thank you for all those roses. That is so nice. I appreciate you. And thank you for all the likes. I just noticed that you guys almost I almost got like 1,500 roses. Thank you. Likes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. But let me finish saying what I'm saying. So I realized that the people treated me, my dates, my wife, treated me the way I treated myself. So since I was so violent to myself, my first marriage was very violent. It was always arguing, cussing, fighting, disrespect. But that is how I was to myself. It didn't matter how I treated her. what I got was how I treated myself. And I learned that from even other relationships after that, after we divorced, and I got in other relationships. When I look back on every single one without fail, and you have to examine your relationships to see if this makes sense to you, that no matter how I treated them, how good I was to them, how well I treated them, it did not matter. It only mattered how I treated myself. How I behaved to me, in my mind, my opinion of myself. Like my second wife, people always say I look like Terrence Howard, and in my mind at that time I was insecure. I didn't, I felt a lot older. I didn't feel as attractive as I did when I was young. Just a lot of things, these are things I would never say out loud, but they were inside of me. And so what would always happen is somebody would say, man, you look like Terrence Howard. And she'd be like, no, he don't. Terrence Howard don't, ain't that it? And I look just like Terrence Howard. I worked with Terrence Howard for years as his photo double and stand-in. He thought I looked like him. But anyway, she would say, Terrence Howard ain't that cute. Terrence Howard he ain't that attractive to me. I don't really like how he look. Now this is my wife. Why are you saying that over and over again for years when you know your husband looks like him? And like she would give me, she would do stuff. She would try to make it funny, but like, yeah, you a C, you a C. I give you a C. You're not really my type, you know what I'm saying? But you married to me, you know what I'm saying? But again, I could blame her and I could get mad at her, but really I know now when I look back over my life, but that's how I felt about me. I was looking for her to validate me, but I was never validating myself. So if you treat yourself inside a certain way, then other people will treat you that way. Again, if it might not be valid, check your life, but you got to be honest with yourself to see this. But once I realized that now all I'm doing is cultivating my garden. All I'm doing is planting lilies and roses and tulips. And I'm trying to cut down all the weeds and prune the trees. And there's stuff in my garden that I have cultivated and fed and fertilized for decades that have been a hindrance to me. They've been blocking the sun. Big trees and oaks, trees big enough to ride cars through. And I've planted them for years, especially in my serious fanatical religious days. And so these things got to be chopped down. The ground got to be, all the roots got to be dug up. Bushes got to be trimmed and stuff like that so I can get sunlight to the new seeds that I'm planting. And so that's what I'm working on. That's why I haven't been dating. That's why I haven't been getting new numbers and stuff like that, is because I want my garden to be better. I want to treat myself better, because I realize that if I treat myself with love and respect and honor, then I'm likely going to find somebody, a butterfly, that's going to treat me with love, respect, and honor. So again, we talking about chasing butterflies. The quote was, if you chase after butterflies, they're always going to fly away. But if you build a garden, they'll come to you. So keep that in mind. I hope this was a blessing to some of y'all. Let me see what you're saying.